Hmm. Alright, yeah. Doing a little something. That was it. Okay, so that was like a test thing I did like off the top of my head earlier. It's subject to change, of course. Just so I could get a good idea of where I wanted to place the towers. Yeah, we got spoiled already. um, but yeah, there's so this is not gonna be ordered within years. Um, or like it. Okay, hold on. Let me explain. So for the first three games, they're all gonna be ordered, and then for Vengeance, they're gonna be ordered separately from this, and then with Alliance, they're gonna be ordered separately from the other two. Well, just to because I'm not gonna go through the because like ordering them with Vengeance is bad enough. I don't kind of like ordering with Alliance and Vengeance together. That could work, but the numbers I think are still way too different from game to game. Like even when you compare just like like they like the 2-3 skill thing is weird, but it doesn't change it too much. But like if you look at the numbers, they're like way toned down in Alliance compared to Vengeance. Like it's insane. So you can't like it's kind of hard to a lot harder to like measure them than it would be for the would like for the first three games, you know. So I think it's still better for the process if I just make it like this, you know. That's some. Yes, misshapen lumps of gore and teeth. Okay, that's the name. Oh, up rushers. Hey, Oni. Okay. Oh, where to start off? First, you have Tesla. Tesla, Tesla, Tesla. I'm just going to here, I think. I don't think there's gonna be any people who are combating us. Easy S tier, best in the series. Enough said. They've got the AOE damage on the overcharge is nuts, and I think some of those people underrate the extra bolt because it's nearly doubling your DPS, like the base DPS, and once you get like to 5, like you're essentially hitting very quick. But if Saitam spins forever, how much damage should he deal per? Oh my god, dude. I guess like 25. damage per second. Assuming because like it's forever. I'm assuming you're gonna be able to move him. Okay, okay. No, we're getting off topic. Like you're hitting 5 enemies where you're not. It's not as many enemies as this, but it's still just even more crowd control. That's pushing this down. Next we have the Rangers, Forest Rangers. I think this is A tier. I don't think it's quite S tier because they've got like no damage, but like single target damage. Yeah, 100 fucking 120 DPS. Roots 100 DPS poison. Like obviously, but the single target damage isn't good, and the roots can especially be kind of bad. Not bad, but like it's kind of a detriment for when it uses it on like enemies that are just going into its range and not near a choke point. Because then once it like uses it like 2 or 3 times at an enemy, they're not gonna get you're not gonna get a lot of value than if they were only stunned once, or if they got their first stun on the choke point, just because it has a uh this three stun limit per enemy. Hey Plague. Um, Barbs. I've I've had a lot of consideration about the Barbs, if it's D or C tier. I think they're barely in the C tier. I think just barely out of D tier because I think they still, when you max them out, they can still be pretty okay. And for certain challenges, it can be, yeah, test the light with roots. Yeah, it can kind of be okay, just shredding on armor targets, but it's still like a ton of investment. But I think you're getting more. I think just because I think they're also stalling units, so they can like if you have like a choke point, you don't, or like a separate lane, you don't need to put a ton of investment in. You can just put this one tower there and let it do the work. I think so. It's decent. What is it? An A tier. I think below Rangers are. I think when you max them out, they're pretty good. They've got insanely good stalling. I think the biggest issue with them is just that they need investment, but investment isn't a huge issue, especially because it's not a lot of money you need to invest. Well, buying barracks in general is kind of like leveling, maxing out barracks in general is a little bit in Kingdom Rush One. Like you can just get like the level 3, level 2 reinforcements, or level 1 even, not reinforce barracks, and you'll be fine most of the time. And also, I think for the Rotten Forest levels, if a barracks unit dies, it spawns a husk, which kind of sucks. For barracks in general, I think these are still pretty good. Musketeers, I think B tier. I think the base tower isn't good. It's not good for damage. Base tower sucks. But you know the fucking Admiral shot is pretty good. 720 fucking explosive damage. Like physical? Is it physical or explosive? I'm pretty sure it's explosive. Yeah, explosive damage. Yeah. So it's pretty. It's very good for dealing with single targets once you max out shrapnel shot. But when you max out shrapnel shot, oh, and it's a lot. It's 900 gold. Like okay, yeah, 400 80 damage every 9. So that's pretty good, but it's still 900 gold, and that's a shit ton of money. Depending on anything, definitely taking heavily bringing it down. And so, and it's also, that means it's reliant on that skill, which means when the cooldown's like not up, it's not really doing much, especially because of how it's inferior to this. Like at least with the dwarf, which we'll get onto later, it's got a giant AOE, which is something over the battle mech, I guess. Not really. By Tesla, like I mean, like yeah, but it's still pretty good. I still think it's B tier, but it's not like over. It's not like it's not like A tier, or it's like you could say it's A tier, but I think it's B tier. Bertha, I think it's C tier. I think it gets a little overhated sometimes, but don't think it's very good. Yeah, low cooldown, yeah, so it's pretty. It does. I do think it gets overhated sometimes. But not too overhated. I think it's like near the top of C tier. I think there are the towers that are higher than it, but the rocket's actually pretty good for single target damage. I've been using it more recently, and I think the rocket's decent. Um, the cluster bomb extreme, it's all K as well. Again, it's just mediocre. And then also you've got Tesla. It costs more overall for tower. This is going to be worse in every way. Tesla. I think it's C tier. Torque. Oh, wise. Um, I think this is S tier as well. I don't think anybody's combating that. Got high DPS. Oh, it's got really high overall DPS. Part of its true damage. Got one of the best. It's got the best summoning skill in the series, or one of. It's got the best insta kill in this, or it's one of the best insta kills in the series because he's even base cooldowns. Because even like when you buy it at first, it's still pretty short cooldowns, like what 24 seconds, which is pretty good. The biggest thing holding it back with the insta kill is that you have to tap on it, which can take a bit out of your time, and your notice to be like, oh, I have to go click on the sheep. But I still think it's pretty good. I guess. Got a ton of use as well, which is shredding enemy armor, making it insanely good for like Rotten Forest and Ruins of Akaroth with the champions, or just in general. Like every level has armored enemies, so in every level is pretty good. 20 insta skill. Yeah, that's insane as shit. Arcane Wizard. I think it's below this. I think it's only better than Sork on Castle Blackburn, where they spam the Fallen Knights, and you need to have immediate damage to kill it, which this doesn't have. But it's just worse. It's got an automatically inferior insta kill, like automatically, and then its teleport skill isn't really good at all. It's like it's got a short cooldown, yeah, but it's not really useful. It's not really teleporting enemies that far back. It's not really that useful. So I think it's C tier. It just gets heavily outclassed. These two towers are the victim of like being outclassed. You know, if these two towers didn't exist, then these two would be like B tier. You know, if these towers were both like, if these towers were B tier, then these towers are B tier. If that makes sense. Like if these guys get nerfed, these guys come up to compensate because now you have, oh, this guy now suddenly has more damage or whatever. This guy suddenly has better crowd control for a single target. I don't know, whatever you want to say. Not really the case for this tower, which is why I'm considering leaving it down in D tier. But I think it's still uh it's got a useless niche kinda. Or not like useless, but okay, I'm having a hard time explaining myself here. Um oh, do I put him in D though? I might have to. Yeah, because if this guy comes down, then these guys are still shit. You know, yeah, so I think here, I'm gonna have to move these down to D tier. Um Assassins, I'm gonna say B tier. Little Musketeers, I think their insta kill when you get it is pretty decent, but they're only good for the Deep Devils campaign. You know, everywhere else they're like, eh. They're like just barracks and frontiers get hard countered in general, so that definitely holds these guys back, especially with how like focused they are on being in melee combat. Where not only does it open them up to ranged enemies, but also just in general, there's a ton of like things that could just melt them, which gives these guys a slight edge over them in certain scenarios. But just because of the Deep Devils campaign, they're B. They had 3 more tiers. S plus, E, and F. S plus is redundant. E tier. No, who the fuck is adding an E tier? And there are no. An F tier is like for things that are truly useless and are a detriment. There's nothing in the game that is a true that's in the series even in terms of like just the tower that is a detriment. Like there are certain tower skills, sure, but there's no towers that like, oh, you bought this, you're automatically losing. Like if you buy like barbs or templars, you're like, oh well, they're shitty, yeah, but they're not gonna like, you know, oh because you spent it on that, you're gonna automatically lose this level. Of course, there's scenarios where that could be the case. That's not every scenario where or it's deserved for them to be F tier. Anyways, yeah, B tier. They're okay. They've got less. Yeah, T. Yeah, again, like T3 barracks at most. Arch Retention? Nah, I think they're. I think if Arch Retention is still a slight upgrade, it's still a bit of an upgrade over tier 3. Because it's more damage, or more DPS, I'm pretty sure. You don't spare Bolin and Cronin from that fate. Yeah, because they're. I mean, yeah, that's right. That's fair. I think that's fair. But I think there aren't enough towers that are that bad to consider an F tier. Like for heroes, there's like 80 of them, right? And there's quite a lot of them are in this like D D and D like or like below or aren't really balanced. Hold on, come on. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Who? Yeah. I am. Blue. Blue. Warp A tier. Yeah, we're getting to that. Warp should be A tier. Warp A tier. Yeah. This is tough for me because these guys are insane at stalling. These are the best like in the series for just pure stalling. But it's kind of like in certain scenarios it's just a money sink. Like you don't really need you were never in a scenario where buying this is gonna be better than overbuying this. Where Dwarp you can actually yeah, I think this is pretty fair. Just because of how overpowered Furnace Blast is. Even before that, they've got an innate slow effect, which is always good. Giant AoE, which is great for Paladins higher than Dwarp. I don't know. I think just yeah, just do the. I think because well, yeah, but there's a ton. I mean, there's tons of uh things in the series that are like reliant on like a bit on like skills. So that isn't necessarily a detriment. It's only detriment if the skill is yeah, it's just because of how swarmy Frontiers is. Having just a giant AoE slow every few seconds is pretty good. Even if it's not for long, it's still like a good amount of displacement. Hold on, I'm gonna see if the stun is effective. Hold on. 20, yeah, a 20% stun. There's like it's a giant AoE, so you're gonna get a ton of stuns from this thing. Tons of stuns, so it's got a lot. It's got a good amount of innate enemy displacement and insanely high true damage once you get Furnace Blast. I think it's A tier. Archmage. This has a very similar issue to certain to like barracks, where sometimes you're like, oh, like what's the point with upgrading? You can just keep the T3, which is could hold it back from back into C tier. But I think this is pretty. I think it's deserving of B tier because I think just because of brilliance, it's able to get a massive boost. It's like a massive boost. I think just because of brilliance, because it's not outclassed by Necromancer like certain other towers. Like a lot of other towers in the series would get outclassed. This is why I like Frontier so much. Is part of the reason why I like Frontier so much because every tower has a niche. You know, compared to other games, there's very little like overlap within the roles. Even like the most overlap between Dwarf and Battle Mecha, but even then, Dwarf is still a great tower and it has better better for giant AoE. So it's something over the Dwarf where I think it's better damage than Necromancer. I think when you upgrade it, you're not like, oh damn it, oh damn, losing out on so like no, you're it's fairly priced. The base damage is good. The skills are pretty shit though. Tornado's pretty sucks a good amount. Um, I think sometimes I like getting over the charge bolts, the AoE sometimes because the AoE magic damage could come in handy on the occasion. Um, yeah, but I think it's B tier. I don't think it gets outclassed like a lot of other towers do. I think that with it being even with it being sometimes better to keep a T3 once you get this tower, once you get T4, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's best tower balance but the worst hero balance. And then Origins is the exact opposite. Now we got a crossbow fort. I think it's easy A tier. Another great archer tower. Base tower, it is worse than base axe towers marginally, but it's still worse. But I think it's still pretty. And then I think it's still decent. Yeah. But then you're not getting that sick for the base. You're getting it for the crossbow bolt for the bolt barrage, which is fucking like 100. Which is like what? Like it's got like 80 DPS, which is bonkers. Absolutely nut wild. Yeah. So I think it's pretty good. The yeah. Oh, A tier. Next we got Templars. I think this is D tier. I'm sorry. I know this is D tier. I think they've got. I think their base EHP is like on par with or worse than the assassins, which is just something that, which is off the bat, which is off. It's like around the same ballpark as assassins, which off the bat isn't good, which means it doesn't have anything stalling wise over these guys, and and base damage is awful. Overall damage is complete shit compared to the. So it has nothing over the assassins whatsoever. But it does better in the AoE attacks, so automatically it's better in certain scenarios. Certain like scenarios with a lot of AoE damage, like an endless mode, it's much better. This guy's yeah, much better in endless mode, and and ranged enemies, But that's about it, They require investment, even with investment, like require investment, and with investment they're decent. They're with investment they're like D tier, but because of how much investment it is, they're D tier. Necro is a tough one. I think I'm gonna have to put this A tier. I think I'm gonna put this above crossbow fort. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, above crossbow fort. Actually, I don't know because the what do you guys think? Because I think the skeletons are really good, but this is Frontiers we're talking about. One of the most anti-barracks games, which is the most anti-barrack game in the series. So I think it very well could be yeah, 3 second slow respawn is crazy. Um, but this is a game where it has a lot of anti-barracks, so I think I'm gonna have to put this below crossbow fort. These guys also scale horrendously into endless mode sometimes. I don't know. Just these guys get walled by armor, but there isn't a lot of armor, which there's a lot of armor in this game. Oh, but okay, I think just because of brilliance, I'm gonna put this in A tier. Just because when you get brilliance with this thing, its damage gets increased, and its damage isn't really good. Like the DPS is okay, not the greatest, but because of brilliance, it allows the necromancer to be more useful on its own with damage than the crossbow fort is. Um, yeah, that's true, honey. But like for certain areas, like in the Deep Devils campaign, you can't rely on them completely. Due to like when there's a ton of big tanky enemies, like the red spines or the blood shells coming in, they're not reliable in certain scenarios. But I still think they're pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm just axe throwers. Ooh, This is funny. He's got 4 frontiers in a row. He's an A tier. I don't know if above or below paladins. I think above. Yeah, I'm above just because of totem of weakness. Crazy. Um, yeah, totem of weakness is overpowered, and they have slightly better base damage than the crossbow. Yeah, that's true, Oni. Um, Battle Mecha, I think it's the best in the out of the first 3 games, best tower. Might probably is the best tower in the series. I don't know compared to Ignis, but it's kind of hard to tell right now. Got insanely good base damage. Rocket's overpowered. Foil is overpowered. What else is there to say about it? Yeah, Arcane Archers. Also S tier. Insanely like cheap and cost effective. You know, they've got they're cheap. They have pretty good DPS, especially with the mostly with bloodletting shots. Um, they can also shred magic resist. Which is, it's not like it's not like an amazing add-on, like an amazing add-on, but it's still pretty okay when it's in Origins with um a lot of magic resistance. So it just helps them. And then burst arrows is very good for DPS. Like when you max like 240 magic damage over like what 12 seconds. That's pretty good. So I think I'm gonna have to put these in S tier. Druid Henge, I think it's the worst in the series. Yeah, worst tower in the series. Just a lot of nothingness. I think that the AoE is smaller than the base tower AoE. With the same like damage number, you don't have so like compared to Weirdwood, you're not having the capability for high burst damage, which is a little bit of a nitpick, I know. But when it comes to artillery, like fast attacking artillery, can't like it's weird. Especially in Origins with the Origins they have true damage, which is good, but it's in such a small AoE that it's more like single. It's more like single target or like 3 target true damage. These guys aren't very good. But also both abilities suck. Not just maps, just like in general. 700 gold. Really, 700 gold for 2 bears that have shitty defensive stats. Okay. It's funny to do Jin playing with Jin. Um, just because or Zin, I don't know, fuck. Just because with the bears you can increase like double their damage and they have pretty high melee damage. And yeah, Origins artillery sucks in general. It's kind of low. So they have double damage and they just shred through shit. It's pretty funny. Anyways, Arc Peak Henge. Um, like Arc Puid Henge. I am Arc Druid. Anyways, Blitzingers. S tier. S tier. I think they're S tier. I know, kill me with the gun, shoot me, let's set me on fire. I think they're S tier. Got great stalling because it's not like when you do the math, it's like okay, 30% chance to dodge, 500 like 500 regular HP. Oh, that's only 700 EHP. That's not good at all. No, because when you realize it lasts for 2 seconds, and there's quite a bit of range damage or just AOE damage in this game, so they're able to soak up a lot of hits. You're able to soak up a lot of hits with just one activation of perfect parry, and they also have high damage with the blade dance. That's like what, like 50 DPS at max, and it's got like good crowd control. So I think they're pretty easily S tier. Actually, not pretty easy. Like you could say A tier if you really wanted to. Nah, I think they're S tier. Nah, you can't say that. Forest Keepers, this is the tough one for me. I was thinking top of B. top of B. They've got really good true damage with their spears. You max it out. Um, which I think is a pretty good bone. Which is pretty good. It's like 100 DPS when you max it out, I think. But it overkills a lot. Like whenever like like flying enemies go by, that's like you're automatically wasting a ton of damage on those. Any weak enemy that's on low health is wasted. It's really easily wasting a lot of damage, which you might not see sometimes, but it's that you could once you like look at it a lot more, you'll be like, oh, the guy had 30 health left, and they both threw a spear at him. So that's definitely something to take into account. But I think they're still pretty. I think it's still like against like medium to tanky enemy to medium to big enemies. They're pretty good. Also, I think that the AOE slow. I think it's like Eerie Gardener, the skill. The vines, I think they're pretty decent. They're decent, for crowd control, especially because artillery sucks. Anyways, golden longbows. I think these are C tier. I think because they can take up shitty slots, they're like near the top, but I still think they kind of suck. Um, they're just not like their base DPS is kind of bad. With the long range, they can end up just targeting enemies that are about to die, that do die, and they are just wasted. Especially with the slow attack speed, they're just easily wasting a lot of DPS, which is something. So yeah, but I think the weakness arrow is what keeps it good, just because it's on a short cooldown. You could it's so you're able to spam it pretty frequently, and because of it being able to take up bad tower spots, you can like, oh, you can place it here at this bad tower spot, but it's just outside the range of a choke point, so where I can easily use it on like a Twilight Golem that goes into the choke point and then takes a shit ton of damage. It's smart placements like those that make it pretty good. Not pretty good. Hi Elven Mage. Hello, hello Elven Mage. Um, DT. Um, it's not good. The initial like Wild Magus, they're pretty good magus. They're pretty good because it's like the damage ramps, right? The initial hit without any ramp up has a higher DPS than the high elven mage. It's crazy. It's pretty bad. So, but even past that, like into like with the only reason why it's better than these two, I think, and maybe better than Barbs is because of the Arcane Sentinels, which it does give a high elven mage good overall DPS, but not only is the DPS like spread out, like it's not guaranteed to be concentrated. This is also in a game that has a ton of magic resistance, which is which could be a knockoff for the well, you could argue that for this, but it's just like they're very slow attacking, and with such a giant range, you really have to be careful where you place these guys. They would be like a little bit better if these guys weren't OP, but they wouldn't be that much better. Anyways, yeah, that's I don't know why I did that. This and time lapse is pretty bad. It's shit. Like at least tornado moves the enemies back down the path. This just leaves them there, and they take a little bit of damage. And you can just run freely. Well, you don't really buy these guys for the magic, but you buy them because it's cheap. It's cheap, high DPS. Cheap, like not high, but it's good DPS, like great DPS for how much they cost. Um, and move your drink bottle. Okay. Anyways, Oh, it's I've just probably I think I've just I've been moving my chair a bit around, so it sounds like that. Wild Magus. Um, yeah, I think this is definitely A tier just because they've got good ramp up when their damage ramps up. It's insane. But I've had it because Alter Reality sucks. It doesn't suck. Not really good. It really messes up the ramp up for this tower. The insta kill is pretty decent. Um, it's really good for dirt outskirts with the mounted Avengers. It's really good in Ancient Pit for the Dark Spitters. It's good when you use it on a tanky enemy in general. What do you mean I have to move it across them? Can't move it across them. Or you have to, oh, you mean you have to use it like in the middle of the map? Or like closer to the entrance? I don't know, it's still pretty shit. It's still shit. It's like it's not really good. Split DPS in general, it needs to be high, and it's just not high enough for it to be good. Like Tesla, or not like nah. For like base Tesla, it's like actually not bad because of how high the damage is for base for target. What could be Arcan's S tier? What like longbows? Not longbows. Like for Magus, Wild Magus. I wouldn't say that. I think auto cancel the high elven mage. um, yeah, I don't think it would ever be S tier in a different game because like especially in Frontier, I think it'd be worse honestly because of how swarmy it is. You automatically get less value from the insta kill. You know, you're automatically getting less value from the insta kill because it can get wasted more, and there are enemy. And when you insta kill like a big enemy, it's like, oh well, there's another big enemy right behind it. You know, so I think it would probably be worse in Frontiers. Um, anyways, Weirdwood, B tier, A tier, nah. HEM, I don't think they're very underrated at all. Actually, I'll put them over Barbs. I think just because they have a similar niche to these guys, where they can take up bad tower spots. You're also taking up bad power spots, and then also costing sending an extra 600 gold just to get good use, to get that bad power spot value in general. All the magic, Magnus. This is base tower is automatically inferior to the Wild Magus in every way. Um, and even I would argue the insta kill is a lot more. It's a lot more. I would argue the insta kill gets a lot more value than the spread arcane sentinel damage. Even the base attack is spready a little bit. Like it's only like 8 damage you're spreading, but it's still something to be said about. Hold on, let me just make sure. There's like 4 to 8, I think. 5 to 10. Okay, that is still that's still like like what, like 15 damage on average getting removed from the base tower, which isn't that good. Which is I want to. It definitely holds it back. It's not like a ton of damage, right? But it's still enough to attack, attack. um, yeah, I don't think they could be placed any higher than D. You might be able to argue bottom of C tier, but that's definitely pushing it. Rank Magnus. Oh wow, I got mixed. I got these. Wow, Magnus is already tier. Yeah, pretty easily A tier. High Elven Mage sucks. Um, Rank Magnus. Yeah, yeah. Okay, done. Comment down, plague. He immediately rejected it. Bone flingers, I think they're S tier. The I used like I've been using them. I've been testing them a little more recently. I think the spread damage definitely can hold them back. Like you can't exactly rely on them for like flyer defense in certain situations unless they're all the way at the back, which they're cheap, so you can do that. But I think when you have, but like even then, when there are multiple flyers, you can't rely on them for that. Or like, but I still think they're S tier. Walking Dead's overpowered. Base damage overall is overpowered when you put him in a choke point. So the spread damage doesn't really matter. Yeah, S tier. Um, Blazing Gem. I don't think they're S tier anymore. I think they're A tier. They've got dropped down. I think just due to one other tower doing its job but better, doing it being pretty expensive, doing it due to this being pretty expensive. Um, yeah, the blocking and DPS overall in these things are very high. These guys, I think they stay. I think they have to get pushed into S tier, to A tier, honestly. Because especially if a tanky, like if there's like a bunch of like if a tanky, like if you get bad timing on it, where it kills an enemy, but the big enemy you want it to target is ahead of like a little shitty enemy, then you're screwed. Then you're losing value from this thing immediately. And because of that, it's got like a little bit just because of the unreliable other towers. Fuck you, Plague. Um, but yeah, I think this stays in. Anyways, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, but I still think there's enough enemies in this game that it can reliably just shred down for it to stay at the top of A tier. Um, Wicked Sisters, I think they're easily S tier. Base tower, the poison mode, 95 true DPS for seven. It's like what, like 720 gold, 760. Hold on, short calculator by the way. Like let me just calculate the exact DPS so I can be correct about me writing this thing. Yeah, 77 times 3. Like what? I think it's 3 divided by 2.4. No. 1 divided by 2.96 damage. As soon as I put Wicked Sisters in S, people left. People just hate the cold hard truth. Anyways, yeah, S tier, their insta kill is also pretty decent. Where unlike Blazing Gem, where it can like detriment them sometimes having to go through that death animation, it doesn't really harm these guys just because they can just throw a thing out, use insta kill, and then throw another thing out. Yeah, I think they're pretty decent. I think they're pretty overpowered actually, Wicked Sisters. And that rally range, get the broom is bonkers, dude. Like it's insane. But you can't stack them easily, which kind of holds them back. DDR, I think this is A tier, pretty easily. They're in a 2-1. The base, the mage tower is decent, and the yeah, that will get the paladin soon. But no, actually, get the paladin soon. Yeah, these the units they kind of suck once until you get tier 4. Spellbane above it. Okay. Well, I forgot to mention we are ranking these. These guys are gonna be in order. These guys are gonna be within their own order, the Vengeance order. And then these guys are gonna be ranked separately from Alliance. Um, the Magnus Spellbane Lokini above MTB. Um, yeah, the biggest thing holding back is the base range, which kind of sucks. Um, then the base tower sucks until you get tier 4, which is decent. And the only really good skill they have is the unit buff, the nets are abominably ass, and the perfect storm, the storm cloud, is just not really good enough for a single target damaging skill. But I still think once you get tier 4, it's a pretty good. Once you get tier 4, is a pretty good tower. Dark Knights. I think they're actually B tier. I don't think. I think they get a little overhated. Um, I think the base stats are insane. Even for 2 units, you're able to even for 2 units, they can still block the enemies you want them to block very well. The armor skill is very good. Not very good, but it's still pretty good for clearing out the weaker enemies, and then allows them to move on to tank bigger enemies. The insta kill, I think it's pretty expensive, but once you max it out, once you max out the insta kill, you're able to get good value from it because it's an insta kill every 13 seconds, which is pretty darn useful. You have the extra gold. Lead harassers, another easy S tier. Base tower is insane. It's one shadow archer and one elite tier 4 elite harasser, just one. The unique one. No, the rankings don't change based on the tower. Like, it's based on heroes. Like, you can say, oh, well, necromancers, they have pretty good synergy with Deirdre, right? But that's not gonna make the tower go above rangers. You know, it's not gonna make them any better than they actually are. It's just like a synergy thing. It's not like a real. It's not like something that can actually boost them. Like, you can't base a tower ranking based on like bringing in heroes, because then it's like, oh well, this tower doesn't get changed at all by heroes, but this one does. Does that automatically make this one worse when you don't use with like, it's just like a lot of factors that go into that where it doesn't really matter. Like, there's not enough like synergies in the game. Like, if synergies were like a hero synergies were a core part, we're like, oh, like almost get like when you use Gerald, all paladins gain 100 health buff. Like that would be pretty. That would definitely like boost, like make a huge difference. But that's not the case. You can't use heroes to justify placing a tower higher or lower. Anyways, we can see service based tower. One individual tier 4 harasser has almost the same DPS as one maxed out Shadow Archer tower. Like the full tower. Insane. Yes, witches are an S tier. They've the poison, because of the poison mode. People don't use the poison mode enough. It's got like a 95 true damage. It's got 95 true DPS. Overall tower is very cheap, and it's just insanely. It's got a very high range. Even base tower, like the witch range is very high. I wouldn't say Ulrich is OP because of Mecha. I would not say that at all. Um, and he's not even OP. He's like very high. He's just high A tier. I think Yeah, I think Grim Centaur is C tier. I think it's a little overrated because I've tried using it, and because it's cheap. That's the best thing it has. Hey Nick, Patch. Oh hey Patch. Hello Ka. I think the Grim Sim. You should try playing this game. I think you'd really like it. Which is an S and Gem an A. What? Shut up, Juwan. Shut up, shut up, Juwan. um. I think they're a little overrated because like the base tower is cheap. So like buying level like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 is pretty cost effective because of how many blockers you're getting. But I think even then with its short range, you're still like losing a lot whenever like a zombie spawns in a bad place. Like so many times I've had to sell, like I've just sold the tower and then rebought it because I've had zombies spawn way in the back in like bad spots. You know, it's too much like inconsistency. Or like if you get like a really good map, you get a really good map where you're like, oh, like every time a zombie spawns, it'll like every time like no matter where a zombie spawns, it's gonna be decent. It's gonna be a decent spawn. which there aren't that many of. But when you do get a map like that with a good tower, like if you get a tower's placement like that, or like yeah, sure. But I think there's not enough of them. And endless is taken into account for games with endless, kinda. I think the only towers that really like are good in like that are really like especially good in endless mode are like they're like or they like get like a bit of a boost in endless mode are Templars. Can't really think of any others. Like Templars, Baby, or yeah, like Wicked Sisters, and that's it. You know, those are the only times like okay, well then these guys, not Wicked Sisters, Wild Magus. Yeah, exactly. Like there's these guys, the like even per zombie the stats are only okay. So when you like yeah, you have five of them, oh they're insane. When you've got like five of them in a good spot, that's like a good continuous amount of stall power. But when there's only one or two of them because the other three have spawned in like often Narnia, then it's like okay, what then it's like okay, what's the point? So I think they're just too inconsistent. Except Gobbler ranks. Captain tier. Yeah, yeah. I get a little bored sometimes. Patch is my friend. I think these guys are A tier. Um, uh, I think when you put them at a good choke point, they can deal insanely high amounts of damage overall. What's up, Ka? Oh, I'm just chilling. I'm they call me. I'm actually like chilling right now. I low key don't give a fuck. So you know. Okay. Anyways, they're really good in choke point. They're tower reliant too. I mean placement reliant too. But the difference is it's a lot easier to get a good placement for these guys than it is for guys. And even when they're not like in an ideal placement, they're still able to work a lot better than shadow archers can. Um, like the overall damage is really. But when they buffed the return damage, they made it really good. They made it insanely good as an archer tower. But I think the only weakness its main weaknesses are it's like obviously the got a weird art like hack AoE. It's pretty it's expensive for an archer tower, and it's yeah it's a what plus stalling? What the heal? They're still dying. They got like 300 health. They're still gonna die really easily. You know, like they're so limited in where like compare this to like another barracks tower. Let me think. Um, like elite harassers. These guys like these guys their power plays are online too, but these guys have a shit ton of damage. Even like they've got a great base tower, a shit ton of damage with the arrow skill, and it's vengeance. It's vengeance. So you can it's a little more forgiving with how you're able to place them. Because of how slow the waves are, you're able to position these guys really easily. You're like, oh, you can put these in this sub lane, and because of how slow the enemies are going to take to reach them, they'll have a lot of time to use Arrow Storm, use their base attack to shred these enemies. You got a lot more situations where you can do that with Elite Harassers than you can with the Forest Keepers. Because the second, because like there's a lot of fast, like especially when you go into Impossible, like Twilight Golems, they go insanely quickly. It's insanely unforgiving how you're able to use these guys. There's like a ton of like range damage too that can just shred these guys. You need to have these guys like behind a barracks in some cases. Like this is like a lane where they're not having like a lot of action. I know there are a few levels that are like that. Then yeah, you can afford to just have these guys be raw and out there. Well, like I've had many situations where I just had better time. Like Tainted Pit. There's not really they don't really for Tainted Pit like there are quite a few levels like Tainted Pit. You don't really have any good placements for them. Okay, I think you could argue that the Forest Keepers are like low A tier. That's the highest I would put them. I don't really. Um, again, they have shitty styling. Being able to okay, well, hold on. You're putting your heroes in a point. You're microing your heroes around trying to make like a choke point work for these guys. Instead of like oh you can just put Rex in here so he's able to block all these enemies coming in so these guys can do stuff. Instead of like oh well just have them permanent like you're getting a lot more use from that hero than like letting them like mega stall a big enemy than just trying to support these guys in a shitty position. You know, they require a shit ton of investment. There's already one bad thing against them. They have can overkill a lot despite this investment. It's not gonna stop Avengers from crashing. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of enemies in a lot in Origins, right, that are just too big for these just for you to be like, oh, just block them with reinforcements. You know, like Avengers, golems get shredded. Like when you've got a ton of harassers coming to your choke point, they're just gonna shred everything because it's harassers. They've got a ton of. I've had choke points where I've just bought a second Blade Singer and I've gotten and I've just bought a second Blade Singer tower and just gotten so much more. You know, unless they're like flying enemies, like oh, well, if you want to catch a leak, just use. They might help a little better with catching a leak, but I've like just buying a second Blade Singer tower really helps out a lot more than just buying Force Keepers in some scenarios. Well, that's not just well, not a lot more. Like the damage is still pretty useful against the big enemies, but when you've got a good choke point going, there's no point to buy like Dwarman Gates is a one is one thing, you know, is one level where well yeah they're overpowered in general. Into Scourger harassers they will they always die in 2 hits. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's the yeah into the into a Scourger buffed Avenger they will always die in 2 hits. And even like oh we'll just buy the healing skill. Buy the healing skill. The healing skill is always like you need to level this up to level 3 for it to like even like with they're still gonna die in 2 hits. Like the healing is not gonna be quick enough for for them to survive 2 hits from an Avenger. Trust me, it's looking grim for the motherfuckers. For the forest coopers. I used to think they were C. Okay, it's not enough bad. I used to think they were C tier. The forest keepers, I had them in the C tier. But I think past that, they're incredibly and they've got like they cost a lot. Give it a lot of they've got like when you have like an expensive tower, you can't have that tower be so that they die to the true damage spears. But yeah, well, again, it's still a ton of over. You're still forgetting that it's 750 gold. It's still a lot of overkill. Like there's 90% of the time you're gonna get like okay sorry 70% of the time in those choke points there's gonna be smaller enemies that get ahead, and that's just gonna be uh then there's gonna be overkill. There's a lot of times where you're just gonna get overkill from the force keepers, which is a huge step back for them. And like certain scenarios where it's like a wave where it's like what 2 Twilight Golems. Well if you're doing a level force keepers only, yeah, it might seem a little easy just because you're spamming just because they have range damage. You know, if like you can do levels just spamming force keepers instead of spamming blade singers, and you're gonna win with more on average with these guys more because they're flying enemies. Well, no, I'd say these guys have a lot of impact too. These guys have 90 explosive AoE damage every, like 780 explosive AoE damage every 9 seconds. That's bonkers. You could place them anywhere too. You can't just place them behind a choke point and have them come in through every once in a while. These guys these guys have AoE damage where if they hit two enemies, they've almost double these guys' DPS. Even for over even if you're taking into account overkill, it's still AoE damage. Gotta higher the AoE the overkill doesn't matter because it's AoE. If that makes sense. Like it doesn't matter as much because it's AoE. And the single target is like, oh well, all of the potential damage gets immediately wasted. For this guy, so you feel like, oh well, there's other enemies in the AoE that are getting damaged by it as well. So you're not like wasting all that damage. You're still getting a lot more overall damage than you would if you got overkill with one of these guys. Anyways, Ignis Altar, I think this is the best tower in Vengeance. Um, the base tower is kinda It's not mid. It's not mid, but it's only okay, honestly. But once you get True Fire, which is a 50% slow on every attack, it basically it like it effectively. Okay, spam. Okay, I'm just gonna say this to you, Shaya. If you're trying to bring up spamming as like a reliable method of ranking towers, I'm gonna have to move on from this immediately. Um, these guys, best tower in Vengeance, with because of True Fire, because of True Fire and the buffs, they made it stackable. So spamming this tower, it just immediately became much more effective. Um, the slow, the slow it adds is crazy on every attack because that's just reliable support. It's reliable. You're just reliably slowing enemies, and I think it's on like 100% uptime too. Bonkers because of the base attack. You're just getting constant damage and slows at choke point. And then you've also got the skill, which is just a overall just better version of the Shadow Archer mark because the same damage increase on a shorter cooldown and also does AoE damage at the end of it. Or not at the end when the enemy dies. So even if you get to waste it on a small enemy, you're still getting value of it. Yeah, 100% uptime. Value from it than you are with this. Um, yeah, I think they're the best in the game. I think you can argue that Harassers are the best in the game, but I think it's Ignis. Just because of how mediocre the space tower is. Oh, by the way, the new Vengeance, the new upcoming Vengeance Tower, the Ogre Shipwreck. Well, yeah, I can say that I like beat the game using fucking Shadow Archer. That I spam Shadow Archers only. And I won. Or like I can say, oh well, you can say like, oh well, you can't win a game by using uh Dwarf only. Again, spam. Like you could beat the game with only spamming Deep Devil's Reef. That doesn't automatically make the tower better than all of these guys. Like, oh well, I can't beat a game using Gobbler ranks only, so that means this guy's above Gobbler ranks. There's so many factors to take into account when it comes to other than just oh well I spam them well like oh they can deal with strong enemies when I spam them that means that they're better. You can't say well oh well I can't spam crossbow fort that means they're not that good that means they're worse than forest keepers. I know that's not like just what you're going for, but like trying to use spam in any capacity as a way to judge towers and like in a majority of situations it's flawed. Yeah, because it's a barracks when you it's a barracks at the range attack that is in that is automatically just that is automatically gonna make it easy to spam because it's able to deal with flying enemies and melee enemies. Same for this thing. This is barracks and mage. Tune 1, so automatically it has innate damage and a barrack, you know. But then you can't say like, oh well, you can't spam Wicked Sisters because the poison to the stack. That means that if well that means like you can't say that you can spam one tower over the other and that makes it easier. Just because you can spam a tower easier doesn't make it mean it makes the tower better. There are too many factors that goes into it. Where you can't. Oh my god, it's lost 5 fucking people. It's too many things that goes into like a tower. Too many factors that goes into like playing a game where you can't just say, oh, spam. Like you can't say, oh well, I could spam or I can't spam a boring emissary, but I can spam arc, but I can spam necromancer. That means that our boring emissary is worse. It's okay. I'm sorry, that was rude. It's just it's not a good way of measuring towers. Oh, and I don't think I can have a reasonable argument if your argument is, well, I can spam them more. Again, yeah, I'm not gonna continue this if part of your if part of your argument is I can spam them. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna continue this. Um Infernal Mage, I think these guys are B tier. I think they're definitely very I think when when you spam them, I think they're the worst mage in Vengeance, but I think they're still pretty decent. They're the base tower is good, it's reliable, it's basic. No, there's not really much else. The teleport skill is pretty bad. Affliction, I originally thought Affliction was bad, but it's actually pretty decent. Um, Especially with like when there's a lot of resistances in certain levels, it can allow it to just get more damage, especially like on the okay, don't kill me. I'm gonna bring up the ice level as an example. I'm gonna bring up the ice post campaign because of the Draugrs. Like with all the Draugr spam, it can do affliction and it's allowed to clear up those much easier. And then the eruption is also pretty decent. The single target damage is actually pretty high, but it's got a long cooldown, which is pretty bad. It's not that bad. It's not like it's still decent, but the cooldown definitely holds it back. So I think these guys just have to stay in B tier. Melting Furnace. I think they're low A. The damage they have is kind of eh, but the stun they provide is good, and then abrasive heat. Oh my god, Jesus Christ! There are some levels where if you put a melting furnace in a good position, if you put melting furnace in a good position, then it can buff almost every tower in your choke point. It is overpowered. Um, this happened. Lumps of gore and teeth. Do you happen to be Giancarlo from the Duke server? Because I remember your old Discord name for a few days. Anyways, yeah, I think abrasive heat. It's a giant AOE, which gives it 30% more damage, which is 30% more damage per like it's okay, but because of how many towers it's able to affect, it's insane. Yeah, I figured. Swamp Thing I think is A tier. I think I think the damage on them is pretty. Actually, no, I'll put them below Deep Devils. The damage good. The range I think is the biggest selling point of the tower because of how just because of how like monstrous it is. You're able to cover multiple lanes with it, and it's still pretty decent damage. The overkill is something to take into account, of course, with the slow attack speed. But it's they also have a good melee forms. The melee form is actually very good, especially when you get the blinding liquid. It lets you get a ton of when you get the blinding liquid, you get a ton of crowd control from it. But they do have the worst insta kill in the series. Brute Force, I think it's called. No, Smash. Okay. Let's try not to bullshit Shy Guy. Um, it's the worst. Like when you max it out, it is an insta kill every 35 seconds. 35. That's crazy. Like that is the slowest tier 3 of any insta kill in the whole series. Yeah, Shy Guy, the jump from veteran to impossible is pretty high, so you should 100% ride out when because impossible, I think you have to judge showers. You have to judge things based on the hardest difficulty. Oh, you should always judge things while playing on the hardest difficulty. Okay, again, try not to be too rude to him. Um, but it's still decent. Orc Shaman. I think they're above Infernal Mage because they're expensive, but they have the same DPS as Infernal Mage and the stun. You know, they're pretty the stun is very useful, and then the meteors is pretty reliable. The meteors are very reliable. I don't think they're as reliable as this guy just because they have weird targeting sometimes. The heal is actually decent, especially when paired with Dark Knights or the Orcs. And then the AoE the AoE shock, it's eh. I don't think it's very good, but it definitely just helps. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about at this point, Sean. Rotten Forest. I think they're barely B. I think they're in B tier. Not barely. I think they're B tier. The buff flow they have is actually pretty good. Their buff range definitely helps them out, and I think the stun is actually very good. It's like a 6 second stun every 15 seconds is actually very decent. Even if it's only on like what is it, like 8 enemies, it's still pretty decent. And I think should definitely it definitely helps out the tower and definitely carries them. The ants kind of suck, and no, the ants kind of suck, and then the fog. I've never liked the fog, but from Rotten Forest enjoyers, I've heard that it's okay. Um, so yeah, I think bottom of B tier. Rocket Riders. I think we've gone full circle, and I think Rocket Riders are back again at as the worst in Vengeance because they're like when you compare the Goblin War Zeppelin, they have a worse single target DPS and have like nearly the same AoE. I think this AoE might actually be worse. I don't think so, but it could be. So you're just not the base tower. The nitro boost. It's not like at level one. It has the potential to deal less damage than the base tower, which isn't good. And then even at level 2, it's like, oh, okay, it's just an attack with extra range. It's not like you're not getting a lot from getting nitro boost. And the mines, I think they're okay. I actually think they're pretty okay because the single target damage you get from the mines is actually very high. It's like 190 damage every 8 seconds. Pretty decent. And the defective engines, I haven't used defective engines in a while because they haven't been working for me. Which I don't know if I can say anything about it. Actually, no. Yeah, wait. It's fine. In the when for the Pirates Kings DLC, actually something came like in the code I think went wrong, and the defective engines no longer works on our versions of it. So I haven't been able to test it in a while. But from what I've played, actually no, I have been able to test it and it's okay. But I still think they're the worst just because they're just bad. Even with skills, you're relying on like a 22-second cooldown, and it's not, or like an 8. You're still relying on cooldowns, and for Tau to be relying on cooldowns, they're not very high. I mean, they're not very low. They're not low enough. So I think this still remains the worst in Vengeance. Shadow Archers, I think these are like the top of C tier. Oh my, just because, just because I've been using more, I think the insta kill when you max it out, it's pretty decent. It's not like the best, but it's still pretty decent. And the mark isn't very good, but it's okay. Like it gives it a good niche for like not good, but it makes it good for like bosses and mini bosses. And then the insta will clean up any other enemies for the mark can focus on the bosses slash mini bosses. I think it's okay. And also they should buff Crow. But I think it what keeps it from B tier is just how shit it is pre tier 4. So yeah, C tier. Shaolin Temple. Maybe I don't know. They might. Shaolin Temple. I think it's very good. I think it's easily high A tier. It's overall people don't overall it has a DPS of 45 I think, but then once you get the many monks it double you get a 90 you get 90 DPS when you max out many monks is pretty cheap. Chromate Shadow Archer is easily top 5. Oh yeah, 100%. Underrated Crow. Anyways, yeah, it's very the support, like even at tier 1 the stun it's providing is insanely good. It makes it one of the best in the game for helping out with flying enemies, for any fast enemies it can clear up easily. Um, the gold totem I think is decent. It's got a problem where any enemy under that has an under 10 gold bounty gives no extra gold. You really need to buy this game immediately. Buy the skill immediately, so it'll be able to pick up as many high bounty enemies as it can. But once you do that, it's pretty okay. And then the summoned unit, it actually has a high DPS. It's not really reliable for stalling, but when you get it for like just get it to get it, it can actually pretty be pretty decent at clearing out enemies that the base tower can't. Mausoleum S tier, we all know it. It's possession overpowered. The gargoyles are also very broken. Um, I still think outside of that though, it doesn't really have a lot going for it. That's why I have it at the bottom of the 5. And hold on, because once the ogre, once the ogre ship, once the ogre shipwreck comes out, it is in top 4. I think I'd have to put it right in the middle of Wicked Sisters and Boneflingers. Um, one of the other testers actually has it in top 3, BHYT. But yeah, the ogre shipwreck's overpowered. I forgot to mention. Um, Sandworm, top of BT. I think I've been using it a little bit more recently, just to get a feel for it. I think the insta kill is very good. They are in the one. Have you not been here the entirety of the stream? Have you? Have you not been? Okay. Um, I think just because it's really the single target damage is actually very good. Um, and the insta kill I think I've been underrating a little bit. Like it's got a high cooldown, but it's still an AOE insta kill, which is a lot of value. You know, it won't get wasted on like one little guy. It'll get wasted on 3 little guys, which is better than it getting wasted on one little guy. And it's been and the skills are very good. It's pretty cheap. Um, the burrower like the Dune horrors, I think they're not bad. I think they've got worse stats than the skeletons, but they have a faster spawn speed, which is pretty good. And then the AOE slow is actually decent as well. But I still think the base tower is extremely expensive. And the pre tier three, there it's not good at all. So I think I'd have to keep this at the bottom of B tier. Or cut. Base tower is complete garbage, and it's only good when you max out all the skills, really. I think like the base 260 health, 20% armor. There actually might be another balance. We haven't the test we have at least tests we haven't been giving anything about balance updates, but there very well could be. Me and a bunch of other people like Sanso, BHYT, Blackney, EGM, and Eris, we made a giant document, like a giant rebalance document for Vengeance, and we just for the towers, and we sent it off to the devs like a week ago, and we don't think they're gonna take all of it into account, but we hope they do, because we spent like months on this shit, you know. So there's a good probability of it being of there another balance update con. And then the final tower to judge is Goblin and tier low tier. The AoE's small, but it's kind of like it's like a weaker version of Battle Mecha, where it's got the tar bot. It's got the tar. It's fast attacking. Um, that's it. It's got the rally range, and then it's again, its main weakness is that it's really expensive. I think it's more expensive than the Samwar, which yeah, it is, which definitely sucks for it. So it has to stay in it. Like I can't physically cannot put it above like Deep Devil's Reef. Like this is the highest I'm gonna have to put it. Like and even the skills aren't really that good. Like the tar, it's got like bad uptime and a lot of poison is higher than as with spider bite. I don't really see how that's. Well, I think it's like the devs they're not behind anything. It's mainly the it's corporate. No, it's the big guys. They're the ones like okay you can do balance or like okay you can't. I think it's just that like they want. I think they want to do balance to an extent, but they really want to focus on making the future on like making the future content better. I think for the first three games they consider them finished. It'd be I think it just messed up their coordination to go back and change all those things, to but through Vengeance they could very well see balance updates coming. Same for yeah, Alliance is 100% getting balance updates. Now we're on to Alliance anyways. Arcane Wizard S tier, pretty easy. Base towers is good, gold efficient, solid damage. Not no, its skills are actually both pretty good as well. The Disintegrate is very good for like boss killing and mini boss killing. But mini boss killing is especially good because of the the mini bosses. Because there's okay, Azra might be trash due to Wicked Sisters. I can't tell if you're joking or not. I really hope you are. But yeah, empowerment is also decent, but it's just requires you to take up bad tower spots sometimes. So if you just have like a tower spot that's just good for Arcane Wizard in general, then yeah, empowerment, just get empowerment. But you're just better off buying Arborian Emissary. Arborian's very cheap. Damage increase is insanely good. Like insanely good. People don't underestimate how good 50% damage increase is for every enemy. Okay, well from Flash to Definitive, that was 10 years. That was over 10. That was like 10 years ago. It's what, like 12 years ago probably. So yeah, I wouldn't really take that. I wouldn't really. They also nerfed Cronin. Cronin's uh rhinos. They dealt like 45 damage instead of 15. Well, yeah, well that's okay. I'm not. Yeah, I loved Arboretum. Very good. The roots are actually very good, and it's just like kind of like Wrath of the Forest light, right? I have not tried it out, but I'm assuming that it was overpowered. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, the roots are very good, and the healing was actually decent. It actually pairs well with the Grim Cemetery, the Grim Race pretty nicely. So yeah. Necro, I think it's a C tier. Um, yeah, I don't think it's not very good. Base DPS is bad, Its biggest strength is that it's not expensive. It's decently price. It's got a good price for the base tower especially. But its base tower isn't good. Skeletons it can't spawn skeletons reliably because of the curse. Because it can't spread curse reliably, especially in choke points. Like if you put it in a choke point, it'll just keep targeting that one unit, like one unit in front. The totem it buffs your skeletons. The damage from skeletons isn't good. But the best thing, but it curses every enemy it hits, which actually allows it to spawn skeletons very reliably. Which is what I was gonna say. It's the totem is very for the totem the necromancer totem is one of the only reasons why this tower is good. And then also Death Rider is pretty decent as well. Um, the true damage, even if it is low per target, it's still on a giant AoE, which helps out, but it is on a long cooldown. It butt like 3 times in that sentence. I think I'm gonna have to put. Oh my god, I sound like such an eighth grader, dude. Um, Yeah, I think these guys can't really go much higher than C tier though. Brewmasters, C tier. They're okay. They're the bottom of B C tier, I think. Um, the Bad Batch is decent for crowd control with the slow and the damage, and the damage decrease is only really useful for a few enemies, but it's got immediate damage, which is immediate like for target damage, which is something the Tri Cannon and the Flame Spitter don't really have. So it's definitely got some kind of niche. But it's yeah, you're right. Um, Crossbow, A tier. Its only weakness is that it misses its shots. If it hit every shot, it is better than Royal Archers. Oh yeah, it is one of the best. It is the best tower in the game probably. If it didn't miss any shots at all. Also, Final Nails is busted in general because it's a stun. It's like a 2 second stun every 3 seconds. Like that is bonkers for a tower to be having. Single target, it just shreds through things. Christ, dude. Check Discord. Somebody's been on Discord. Vengeance for 4 hours. The pirate DLC isn't out yet. Why would you want to do that? But yeah, I the also the scrap bomb I think is pretty decent. It's like a 16-second cooldown at max level. The AoE damage is good, and it's got a very like good uptime slow. Not good uptime, but like good slow in general. So I think this has to be in A tier. Got to be in a tier, which is A. Channel Human Pit. I think this is C tier. I don't know if I'm putting them better than worse than. I think I'll put them better than Necromancer, just because. Yeah, the when it misses the shots changing targets, that's a huge DPS loss. Especially like when you miss the final shot as well. You're missing out the value of final nail. I think next tower. Yeah, Demon Pit. It's the base tower is kind of expensive, and if you're not getting it to either A, just spam it tier one and then get it tier one and then max out your other towers, or maxing this out and getting all the skills max level, it's ass. It is completely inefficient for what you're spending on it. Unless you either have it tier one or maxed out with or have it maxed out with all skills, it is not good. Big boss is decent. It's pretty good. Not decent. It's pretty good. Especially when you do the cool when you abuse this cooldown thing, where if you buy it, wait a bit, and then buy it, then wait a bit, and then buy it. You buy it, and then wait a set bit, and then after you buy it, the cooldown gets immediately reset. So you can have like three big bosses on at the same time. But after you do that, is a 32-second cooldown, which is I think one of the highest. It's just in general one of the highest tower skill cooldowns in the series at max level. Bonkers. Like even like insta kills, they tend to get shorter cooldowns. It's just not reliable, but when it does come out, it's good. And then the master exploders I think is a lot better than I thought it was. It can end up being a pretty good amount of damage, but it's not that good. Nah, just kidding. But like it's still you're still not able to control it easily. It's not really reliable. Like if it's like you can't like your weight like whenever like enemies like are like running like walking near the choke point, the demon pits will get thrown outside of the choke point, which is automatically just kind of bad for your choke point. So I think these guys are have to stay in C tier. They're a little better than I initially thought. Sentinels. Where the fuck did I put there? They're B tier. I think their base tower is a pretty good DPS. A single target, of course, but the overall DPS is pretty good. And then, um, sorry. And then Bounty Hunt. People underestimate Bounty Hunt. It is a shit. It's like 50 DPS, right? It's an extra 50 DPS, and then even with its high cost, you're able to pay it back fairly easily with how much damage it does at max level per target. So any like drag like it is a guarantee. Like if it gets the initial hit on a glareling, there's another one nearby. That is an immediate point guaranteed 24 gold. That is every 6.5 seconds. So it's pretty decent. Um, Flamespitter bottom of B tier. It's expensive. Got a weird AOE. Um, but it's true damage, which makes it pretty good for dealing with like single target armored enemies, and then any other nearby enemies. So I think it's decent. The scorching torches is good when it's off cooldown. But it's got like again. This one also has like a 30-second cooldown, so you can't really rely on it very easily. Um, and the fire the blazing trails is actually pretty decent. It's got like an average cooldown. It's got a good like AOE. It's got a decent AOE, and it also deals a bit of extra true damage on top. This is okay. It's not really like a main. It still could use like a bit of a base tower buff, honestly. Stargaze. I think this is the only bad tower in the game. Only truly bad tower in this game is Stargazers, because it's 890 gold, right, for a tower that can't deal single target damage effectively at all. Your like base tower is awful. Even against isolated enemies, you're better off like Eldritch Channeler has better single target damage this good than this is. When you're spreading it out, like the glare completely negates this tower because it just immediately heals back any damage it deals. Especially when it gets spread out. Oh well, you still got a bit. We still got a bit. No, just um, but yeah, I think this is the only bad tower in the game. It's got a funny thing with the teleport, where if it where like where if it activates the teleport, and you there's a small window where there's a small window where the enemies are in the teleport, they're not on the field at all. Then you immediately sell the tower, the enemies just die. I don't know if you get gold from that though. That's the thing. I think the gold is immediately lost, but they're dead. But I don't think this is very good. It's like the teleport's on a 24-second cooldown, so you can't rely on it. And that and teleport this teleport just teleporting enemies a little bit back isn't really good in general. But when it's on such a long cooldown, it's bad. I don't have Orc Shaman in A tier just because we haven't we actually funny you say that, because me and Stanza were just discussing the the Stargazer buffs, and it doesn't really need to like they just need to make it actually well not too many. We made the base tower 100 gold cheaper. Well, at the start of a level, at the entrance of a level, you can't rely on when at the entrance of a level, you're not gonna overkill enemies in general. You know, that's where you're least likely to overkill. You know, and that is where it gets waste like because like if you use that at the front, you can that is one of its at like the start of a level, both of its skills immediately are useless. You know, because you can't finish off enemies because there are like enemies nearby and damage gets spread, and the teleport is useless because you can't. It's not going because where are they gonna go? Back to the back 2 inches. Well the reason why is because this guy it has the same DPS Orc Shaman, but it's like 50 gold, like 50 gold more expensive. I think not 50. It's like more like 40. Hold on, let me see. Let me check my notes. And it costs 80 gold more. or someone costs 80 gold more for the same DPS. And the meteor skill, it has really weird targeting. I'm not putting the pin, but you could my balls, my friend. You could respectfully, of course, but and then the reason why Shaolin and EDR don't make it into S tier is because it's still like not good. It still doesn't have good single target damage, right? Yeah, well, it's with a stun, but it's like what, like 0.6 seconds. Yeah, it's a 0.6 second stun, which is okay, but it's not like that reliable. You know? Yeah, I put Ferns in A tier. I think they're A tier. I've been using them a bit more. Like like and then there's the meteors, which I think are just I think that overall the meteors have overall have a higher DPS, but with the way the AoE works, its single target DPS is automatically going to be worse, no matter what. The fissures are actually much more consistent than meteors. But because this has like overall better skills, I think it's better than Furnace. This is just like more expensive for an extra stun, for a bit of a stun, which is decent. This is decent, but it's not like enough to justify an 80 gold, I think. Anyways, Channeler, I think this is another A tier. Yeah, A tier. Oh yeah, DDR don't make it in just because base mage isn't really good, isn't like amazing. The units kind of suck, or the units aren't really good either. So like neither the Olok Tower. Yeah. Anyways, base tower isn't amazing, but it's still like decent. It's still got a good base DPS. This is not base. It's not really gold efficient. Low Prehant, right? You could argue top of D tier. I think there is a world, but BHYT but like I mean BHYT has convinced me that it's bottom of C tier, or at least that it's in general. But yeah, the power overflow is insane, and apparently I don't admittedly I haven't really played with the mutation hex enough, but the sheep. But apparently you could tap on the sheep and then just have it insta kill on a 21-second cooldown, which is pretty good. Um, so yeah, and then power flow it's spunk. It's like an extra. It's like triple. It's just an extra triple DPS pretty much. Like I want to hold on. Got like a 5 times 0.75. Yeah, it's an extra 100. Oh, I did that wrong. 248. 0. Divided by. Yes, 179 DPS when you maxed out power overflow. I mean, come on, come on, that's pretty bonkers. Like even if it's not like even like when it's spread across 4 enemies, that's still really high. Um, Grim Race had a bit of a turbulent. Um, I think these are B tier. I haven't really found actually. Yeah, these are B tier. I haven't really found too many uses for them honestly. Or like I have the teleport's actually pretty good. The main problem with it is just that the base tower sucks. Okay, well hold on. Okay, cool, good. So for games for Kingdom Hearts 1, Frontiers, and Origins, they are ordered. And then for Vengeance, it's ordered within Vengeance. And then for Alliance, it's ordered within Alliance. Because for those three separate like areas, it's really hard to try to balance like get them ordered. Like even like across Vengeance and Alliance, I still think the overall numbers are way too different for me to like try to accurately rank them. They are ordered like for Vengeance, for instance. This is better than Workshop. Workshop is better than Front of Mage. Front of Mage is better than Dark Knights. Better than this. But but like just because Rotten Forest is not better than Grim Race because they're placed is because it's placed above. You know, these are two separate games, so they're ordered differently. Next we have Rocket Riders. D tier. It's just like because of how like because of the way the noxious spitters exist, especially they've got a slow attack speed, which normally wouldn't be that bad, but compared to Ballista, which has a slow attack speed, they just cost more. They cost more. You're more like the slow attack speed harms them more. I If that makes sense, because this is still attacking. This is a 3.2-second attack speed, but it's attacking for like 1.5 seconds. These have a 2-second attack speed, but they're attacking for like 0.1 part of it. Okay, well the reason with Grim Race is that their base stats are inferior to these guys in almost every way. Honest in every way. They are more expensive. They have less individual effective health. Yeah, that's you could put them in B, but I think they're both C tier. They even individually they have less health than the paladins, and they only have like 4 extra DPS compared to the paladins overall at base. So even if it is true damage, it's not enough to at base to consider. Once you get soul siphoning, it's pretty good. The they're very they do negate the overseer entirely, but outside of that, they're not really good. They're not really like they're not good, but like can't really use them um as reliably as you would the paladins. But I think just because of the teleport, I place them in the top of B tier. Next we have actually Royal Archers. They are the best in the game easily. Cheap, cost effective. That's it. No, I'm just gonna. But yeah, that is pretty much just they're just like sample cheap DPS. The armor piercer is pretty good because it's just a lot of damage, a lot of like burst damage. It does kind of harm you by make with the wind up, but after the wind up, you're still shredding all of the enemies. You know, so if you get like, oh no, these enemies are gonna leak because of the wind up. Nope, all 3 dead. So it's very rare for that to happen. The Eagle sucks though. But outside of that, they're very reliable and cheap and high DPS overall. And I hate that they're the best. Well, no, the healing prayer for okay paladins. The healing prayer is actually really good. Um, it makes them very good for stalling because it's 4 seconds of invincibility, and then once you get a like tier 4, like that's like almost all that's like pretty much the rest of they're pretty much healed back up to full. Yeah, these guys just because of how yeah prevalent flaggers as well. These guys are very boring, and I hate that they're S tier. But a lot, yeah, they all the paladin are like mini heralds. And finally, we have the Jedi Cannon. Um, I think, yeah, lead by example should have been a permanent aura, but like even the buff is still decent when you pair it with allies, or like other at like when you pair it with Grim Cemetery, like Grim Race and other and heroes, it actually is pretty okay. And the buffed paladin itself has like 20% more armor, and 40 more health. So it's a okay stat buff, but I think it just should have been better. Um, the Tri-Cannon's B tier. The base tower is horrendous, but I think just because of how and the bombardment is very overpowered, but bombardment isn't super reliable due to how like spread out everything is. Like with like when there are a few enemies in the AoE, like in its area, I like set like over like 70% of those shots are gonna miss consistently. Like it can't consistently hit the bombardment shots in the early game, which it does in system, especially with how expensive the base tower is. It's not like 1600 gold just to get maxed out bombardment. And don't even start on overheat. Overheat would have been fine if it didn't make bombardment useless. Does that make sense? Because no matter what, it's increasing the effective cooldown of bombardment. But once you max out overheat, bombardment will never be used again, which is pretty terrible. Sorry, I'm just drinking some water. I don't mind Arcane Wizard being overpowered because it's like a generic mage, and we haven't really had that. And it's also cool looking. Royal Archers, they are so boring, dude. Like just even to look at, they're really boring. Um, Second iteration of Arcane Archers. Okay, but yeah, these guys, yeah, fucking boring. They don't look fun. They're not fun to look at. Um, should I, what do you guys think? Should I go play? Should I go play the DLC? You go play the Vengeance DLC? How about I go play? How about I go play the Alliance post campaign? Huh? That'll be fun. Alex plays would enjoy that. And the thing is, I didn't mind the generic tier 4 Archer Tower. I mind that it's the best. Super boring. Well, Ogre Ship. I don't know why I still have this open. I don't know why I still have this tab open. Battle Mecha? Where else would it be? F tier actually. Battle Mecha's F tier. Battle Mecha F tier. Battle Mecha F tier. Battle Mecha F tier. Yeah. Forest Keepers deserve A tier. Um, they could. Could put them in A tier. Oh, shipwreck. Rank the red pin emoji. Oh, I think the pin is F tier. Ah! Sorry, I just dropped my phone. Um, oh, Ogre Shipwreck. Should I put him in? Actually, yeah, I think I'll be fine. We've already stated Ogre Shipwreck. I've already stated my opinions on it. I'm not gonna leak any information. So why? Or like, it's just it's. It looks so funny, dude. This is the only ogre shipwreck image I could find. And then it's like, what the hell is? I don't like to look at that. I'm gonna delete this tab. Hey Derpy. Rank the shipwreck. Yeah, shipwreck's easy S tier. Um, it's really good in this sense. It's really good in that sense. Got this one really good thing. This other really, it's really, the this and the that are both very good. The that thing is also good. Um, that other random, yeah. But yeah, Ogre Shipwreck is very fun, very good. Um, I think the only reason why I don't have ranges in S tiers is because they deal no damage. No, you can't. The pirate DLC, you can get a lot of information from the trailers. Um, you can get a lot of information from the trailers. So it's not like, or not a lot of information, but there's quite a few things on the trailer. But it's just kind of like the Hammerhold trailer, where like they're not like I actually really like the way they're marketing this compared to the marketing for Alliance. I think was hot garbage. I think the marketing the marketing for Alliance was some of the worst marketing I've ever seen in my life. Um, they teased way too much. They revealed way too much information. They showed the fucking final boss, the third boss, the first boss. I mean, sorry. They showcased the first boss in some one of the trailers. It was so bad. So they're reverting back to the Hammerhold um trailer marketing, where it's just like, okay, basic trailer, bit of a spotlight, and they're probably gonna do a Lucy spotlight, Lucerna spotlight pretty soon. So, and that's amazing. But the speaking of the Pirate DLC, I have very glad I've had the pleasure of testing it. It is probably the best. It is no, sorry, not probably. It is the best thing to ever come out of Vengeance. Easily, all 6 years of Vengeance led up to this moment. It's crazy. Um, how good it is. It's so fun. Like actually, I fucking love it, dude. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. On Steam, it's 30%, and from what the last time I googled it, it's 30 for Apple it's 30%. But they only like give us the devs themselves, they don't tell us shit. They just like they give us a game, they give us a spreadsheet, and then that's it. They only ever give us any information on something if it gets leaked beforehand. Like for the pirate DLC trailer, that actually got leaked. Somehow the guy found the trailer on Google, even though it was the YouTube, it was an unlisted trailer. It was like an unlisted video on YouTube, right? And it was, and some Russian dude. Decide yourself. The some Russian YouTuber somehow found the unlisted YouTube link on Google. Like just you could like just apparently there's some weird shit you could do. Um, he commented on it. He commented on the unlisted trailer pirate DLC trailer, and then posted it to his own channel twice. That is actually insane. Okay, you cannot. That is. Imagine being such an asshole that right before you repost the trailer that's not supposed to be out yet, you comment on the trailer. He commented a thumbs up under the trailer. That's so funny. Cause then it was just like at 12 at night, or it was like it was early, and we were all, and then somebody found it, and we were all like fucking panicking. We punged the devs like 20 times, and then after, some random dude in China, apparently they got the trailer or whatever early. Some dude, I swear to God, some dude saw leaked the theme into the Ironhide Discord as well, where like two people saw it. That still also set off a lot of shit for as well. So it's just so crazy. the pirate DLC I think has been the most leaked, like been like the most like leaked thing by Ironhide ever, which is really funny. Um, but yeah, so but luckily we were able to like hold it like keep it together. Like nobody was able to see it. Nobody nobody not a lot of people were able to see the leaks anyways. Alex plays saw the DLC theme though. And then he still thought it was junk. He still thought jungle had something to do with it. Well, it might. You never know. Um, but yeah, I'm surprised. I am kind of disappointed that they revealed the names, the bosses though. Um, of the other three bosses, because you guys know Blackthorn and the Corsair, the Black Corsair. Okay, well, I don't want to go into specifics, but apparently on Google, if you on Google, you can find there's like some like glitch you can do or whatever where you can get unlisted video links. Like it wasn't the dev's fault at all. It was like some like the guy like actively looking for it, which is crazy. Um, but yeah, they leaked two of the bosses. Well, two of the bosses Blackthorn, and then you go know the Black Corsair. Then they also leaked the names for the other three, which they're pretty. Hold on, let me find the YouTube post. Right. Let me find the community post. Just because I don't want to say it myself. Eh, It's it is these four. It is these one, two, yeah, it's these are the other bosses. Hi Anne. Thank you, Funk. You are functioning. You are functioning properly. Um these are the other guys. Vengeance, I can't wait for the DLC to come out and I get to be like, yeah, this thing's pretty good. Because Hammerhold, I know people widely like. I know a lot of people love Hammerhold, and I think the reason a lot of people love Hammerhold is because it's got Malik, Ulrich, Shatra, and Mirage. It's got four very um it's got four very like popular heroes. I want to call Malik super popular, but Ulrich, Shatra, and Mirage are all very popular. And because just because it's returning heroes in general, I think that definitely boosted it. So I think because of that, because the Pirate King, only really has Blackthorn coming back, could have others, might and it gets a Black Corsair because it doesn't have enough like a lot of other like really popular heroes coming back. It's not going to be as popular, but I think because of how high quality the DLC is. No, we're not talking about heroes. We're talking about We're talking about DLC. We're talking about the DLC. We're not. We're just talking about the DLC. I'm talking about how because of how many returning heroes there were in the Hammerhold DLC. I think it definitely made it very popular, and because this upcoming one doesn't have as many, it's automatically gonna be is that automatically is gonna bring down how popular it could be. Um. Oh yeah, the jungle theme, dude. That was actually so fucking funny. Oh my god. Every day it'd be a message from Alex Plays saying, "Oh yeah, man, we already know it's jungle. You guys are doing such a bad job of hiding it. You guys suck." And then it's but that was actually so funny. Oh my god, how adamant he was that it was gonna be Bruxa, Saitam, and Cronin. And fucking Cronin. Oh my, that was so funny, dude. Yeah, yeah. I think we just don't have that many pirates. I think because they're making a lot of new stuff for the pirate campaign, it's not as like reminiscent. Yeah, Alex Plays moment. I really wish she like saw it through the trailer and not by some random leak. Because then that would have been really funny. Where it's like, yeah, man, um, that really looks like jungle, huh? The Pirate Kings DLC really has a lot of jungle in it, don't it? um, but yeah, my tier list, the Cronin board boss. What's that? I have a theory that they're using the KRA sales to fund the KRV content. Well, no, they've been working on this DLC for a lot longer than they have for not for a lot longer, but they've been working on this DLC before Alliance came out, like a long time before Alliance came out. So they definitely are like relying on the Alliance sales. You know, they are definitely relying on those Alliance sales to help fund everything else. But I think the Vengeance DLC has been funded for a while. Or it's not funded, but they like if they knew even if Alliance didn't become as big of a hit as it was, it wouldn't do as they wouldn't like be that worse off. The Alliance. Speaking of which, Alliance I think is like the highest. Like it had like a lot of hold on. Boom. Rush Alliance Steam channels. I gotta see the Steam. This is a price history. Nobody wants to see the fucking. Oh my god. Yeah, this is. Well, this is only revenue, but that's still like insane compared to other games. Other games came out that have come out much like compared to how recent this is. Like other games didn't come out like came out like later like that much later. They have more money spent on Steam, but they came out like years ago. Are we gonna get paid DLC immediately? No, the upcoming update for Alliance is a free content update. So I got three free levels to play, but the two new heroes and the new tower are gonna be paid like usual, like in Vengeance. Zero active players on. Are there seriously zero active players on Alliance? There's no way. Um, Hearts. Bro thinks this is Concord. No, there's 613 players right now. 21,000 is actually insane for for this game, honestly. Concord player count. 2,100 players on launch compared to every other Steam game. Compared to every other Kingdom Rush game, I think. Actually, no. Frontiers have like I think I don't know if this is real, but I remember Alex Play saying that Frontiers at once had like a 2 million player count. I think I was on Flash though, like a 1 million player count. But like this is still pretty good. It's still pretty bonkers actually. I really hope Alliance cause waits a bit before making paid DLCs. I really hope they make like at least two, three other free updates like this before they start making paid DLCs. Because okay, well at first it will already they're gonna get a lot of backlash for it if they make. I think Concord had like 150 player peak. Anyways, if they make DLCs too early in Alliance's lifespan, it's because it's gonna be like, oh, the game just came out. Why are you? Or the game just came out. Why are you just trying to make more money? Why are you just trying to make more money of it? Why can't you make? People are off the bat gonna be angry at it. And also, I think free content is always great to have in a game because like this game doesn't have a lot of base content. Nobody's gonna want to play the game, play the base campaign, and then have to pay an extra $8 to play more levels. You know, that's not gonna be good for them at all. So I really hope they at least make a few other bonus free campaigns before doing a DLC. Yeah, but I think if the DLCs in Alliance are as good as they are for Vengeance, it is gonna be it is for the Venge it is gonna be insane. Like Alliance is easily gonna be one of the best games in the series. Again, what are they gonna add for like a Frontiers DLC? Like they don't really they can't do much. Like especially as Viduk said, they can't really do anything without messing up the story, without messing up the whole, because they've already messed it up. You know, they've already messed up the story with the whole tier of Eleni shit. They can't really afford to fuck it up even more. You know? I would like to apologize to Ironhide 11 years later. Imagine like the Ironhide account just comments like, "We accept your apology, Shy Guy Mask." um, yeah, I'm gonna save this. If I have it, download image, and then did I play Vengeance? I don't know if I have a. I don't want to press an alliance because I can't remember if I downloaded the Steam update for the alliance, and if I press on this, there could be something that spoils it. That spoils what the DLC is. Oh my god! Wait, you guys can't see my Steam. I just realized. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I don't. Beta. Okay, I'm not in the. Okay, I'm not. So I could play Alliance, but I don't feel like it. So I'm gonna play Vengeance. Actually, but like if I play, actually, everybody knows where that is on the map. People know where the thing is, where the levels are on the map. So I'm allowed. Okay, I think I can play Vengeance. I think I'm allowed. Starting me. Hold on, I'm opening Vengeance. I opened Vengeance. 12 people leave. Yeah, people. Okay, people have already seen it. I can't play around with any of the things though. Game cap. The game capture for my computer is always a little weird with Vengeance. That was the wrong thing. Um, man, this shit sucks. Hold on. Capture any full screen application. Not gonna do that. Alright, my OBS is being really bad right now. Not extinction if I remain. I think with the pirate DLC it has been redeemed. Without the pirate DLC it is not redeemed. Okay, it's got Vengeance working now. Okay, good. I think I'm gonna play Hammerhold. I don't even have Hammerhold on Steam, I forgot. I just went into the code and did this shit. I'm not playing the pirate DLC for obvious reasons. Not even gonna bother pressing on those. And I haven't played on the Steam version in forever, dude. I hate the Steam version because I'm always bad on the Steam version. I always play infinitely worse on the Steam version than I do for the for mobile. Yeah, I haven't played all of the pirate DLC on PC. I've just been playing all of it on my phone because it's so much more convenient. That could just be because then it could just be like anywhere, and I'm just testing it, you know. What towers did I pick? Okay, hold on. I need to attack somebody with Grosh. Okay. Oh, this is one of the loadouts I tried for the. Oh, I forgot to. Whatever. Okay. Place from... Oh, I haven't. I didn't play the. I have played the rebalance, but I deleted it because I don't like playing on rebalance. I like to play vanilla. And not that I like to play vanilla, but it's better for like testing and shit to play on vanilla than it is for the other one. You know, if that makes. You know, I'm gonna sell. Why did I hold on? Hold on, I'm already off to a bad start. Forgot how to play this game. No wonder you can't manage the legendary Ficus bosses. My micro on mobile is actually way better. I can't explain it, but I'm much better I'm much better when I'm playing on a PC on a mobile when I am playing with PC. Which can explain why I'm a little bad, not bad, but like my opinions on Fossis aren't amazing. But I still think I'm good enough on PC to be like, yeah, he kind of sucks. And then he doesn't suck it up. We didn't. Okay, if we're being honest, we did not focus on towers at all for the rebalance because we know it's just gonna be a whole much. It's gonna be another huge fight. Not huge fight, but like, you know how long it took for us to do the Vengeance rebalance? It took us like 4 months because of how much we were like disagreeing on shit. You know, we can't. It's just it's not like at this point we'd rather just like stick with what we have. You know. You guys, should I buy the crow? Save me, Shadow Archers. Save me. No! 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 That was so bad, dude. Shadow Archers fucking suck. Let me. It's I like the music. Go for the crow. I might have to go for the crow for the flying defense. Yeah, good job, Grush. Oh, that was the wrong place to use. That wasn't there. Come on, Grush, you can live this. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Come on, let's go. Okay, the Vengeance OST is insane, dude. Probably the best part about Vengeance, 100%. Okay, I might have to buy Crow. Which, I don't think that's something anybody's ever said. Because I need the air defense. I don't have any real artillery. I have this. This seems like a bad tower spot for it, but I think I'd rather have this here. Oh my god, I just fucking lost, dude. Oh my god. Fucking suck at this game. Save me, Crow. Save me. Wait. I'm not getting shit from... Okay. Hold hold on. It's just wrong. It's just my tower placements that are shit. Because I need. Here's the thing. I need. No. Alliance moment. I need this here, and then I need this. Good. Maybe we should have the mage at the roundabout. Maybe, I don't know, because this is a longer range, and I think it's just because it's better for coverage. It's not extinction is my fuel. The DK down here. They're not really able to kill the quarry workers though, on alone. I think a tier 3 Infernal Mage would help out a lot here though, I think. Ah, come on. Warlock could kill. Well, I want to play with Garrosh. I haven't played with Garrosh in a while. Because apparently I've heard that he's good. I don't agree with that. But he's not bad. But everybody else is wrong and I'm right. Garrosh's feast spawn. Wait, here it comes. Okay. This, okay. It's all coming together now. Okay, I'm seeing the vision, and now I have Soul Tickle up. Just in case. Which I'm actually gonna need it. Pretty sure. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need it. Do one more attack on up. I've got it ready. I'm not afraid to use it. Okay, okay. The worst of it's behind us. I might get the Rotten Forest here. Just so I could get good value from the stun once I max it out. You know? Because it can't really get value from really good value from anywhere else. And the slow is it's not bad here. I think this is probably the second best campaign in the series. Not in the series, in Vengeance, not in the series. What am I saying? Yeah, there's no like. Okay, why am I placing? I just realized I'm making a huge mistake by having Grosh where he is. Restore. Yeah. Could have had like a good like bruiser, you know? Heck. Did he use his death passive here? That'd be really funny. Oh fuck. Well, it looks like I don't have a choice. Well, I'm not insta-calling that shit. I could get a run forced here. Just for bonus damage. Well, in every uh game, except for Vengeance, there's like there's a really good free. There's at least one really good free hero. There's at least like two really good free heroes, and then wait, what? Oh my god, I forgot skills don't reset when they die. That's kind of balls. Hello, Distorty Dan. Did I change the name of the stream? That would probably be smart. Eh. Do I still have that? Yeah, okay, this is my tier list. I don't even have Grosh at max level. I have all of his skills at max though. I did that in the code. I guess you could say I'm a bit of a hacker. Or pterodactyls, really? You gotta try harder than that. Kill that guy. Kill that. The Vengeance Appreciation stream? Yeah. Um. Okay, that was perfect. Perfect. Yeah, Azra and Olak, they aren't awful. They're just not, like, amazing. Huh? Oh my god, they're those kinds of pterodactyls. Go fuck yourself. Oh no, I leaked the pterodactyl, actually. What the fuck was that? Did it just waste an insta-kill? It sucks. Dude, kill the... Ever. I'm so cooked. I have the insta-kill on this. Okay, I do. Now my whole life revolves on a... Okay, that was actually very good. Okay, that line goes so hard. It's not extinction if I remain. Like, my god, dude. Okay, that was the completely wrong lane, but I appreciate the effort. Yeah, Azure would have been good if he wasn't bad. It's not extinction if I remain. Fucking all that shit. Oh fuck. Okay, now I gotta bring these guys back up. This guy. Okay, dude. Ain't this just fucking dandy? I'm just gonna get Crow for the flyers. What the fuck was that? Was I seeing things? Fucking hate flying enemies. Flying enemies are the worst kinds of enemies. If you willingly make flying enemies, you are an actually bad person. Okay, perfect. What can I get here? I think I'm gonna get Dark Knights. I'm gonna try to stall the cave dwarves. So they can get in range of this insta kill. Actually, now I'll level up Dark Knight's. I think Lava Fissure's pretty good.
It's not extinction.
Oh god. Why the fuck did I insta-call that? Dude, I just lost. Dude, I actually just lost. Actually, wait. Dude, I might have to get impervious. No, wait, I can do this. King Garrosh is here. The glorious King Garrosh. What? No! Oh my god, fucking vengeance. Worst video game on the market. Pterodactyl. Okay, so we've got a few dwarves coming, I can tell. In about 4 days, we're gonna... Oh yeah, I can't wait for the DLC to come out, dude. Y'all are not prepared. It is the GOAT. Oh wait, I have nothing to kill the boss with. This looks like a Shadow Mark. Spamming Shadow Mark, we'll have to do it, I guess. Oh my god, that was so satisfying. Truth nuke. Oh my fucking god. I'm not insta-calling that shit. I wonder what those pterodactyls are gonna be carrying. My fucking balls, dude. Just getting infernal mages for the extra boss damage. Okay, no. Okay. We're good. You're at peace. What? No, okay. Wait. One more talk. One more talk. Oh, fuck. Aw, shit. Oh, this is a double aw shit, dude. Even a triple aw shit. I have not played this game. But I'm fucking embarrassing myself. Dude, I have to- I'm not allowed to play this game ever again. Rip Primal Ravage moment. I could salvage this. I'm pretty sure I can beat the boss. Get impervious. Um, well, only the main. Well, I think the only parts of, well, Hammerholes, the Pirate DLC, this campaign, and the Anurian campaign, I think, are decently difficult. But they're just kind of boring. Like this campaign, it uses too many of the old enemies. You know, it uses too many of the basic dwarf enemies. Didn't use the prehistoric shit enough. Yeah, the pirate DLC is great, dude. What's health? It was like 8,000, 9,000. Ooh, no. 9,000 9,000 HP right there. Oh, thank you for using Shadow Mark on that. That was actually really useful and helpful. I think that was very good for me. That was actually very good. That really helped me out a ton, so thank you very much. It's so funny how weak that stupid, thing is. Yeah, these, duty meteors. Can you attack the boss, please? What? What? What is this? What's happening? Why did that happen for so long? What? What the hell was that? I'm gonna have to say I'm not a huge fan of that. Okay. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Huh? Oh, I forgot that was just an instant. Silly me. I'm impervious for the boss. Oh. Dude, you deactivate pretty please? And thank you for letting that guy pass, by the way, Charger. Oh, never mind. Never mind, Charger's goaded, but I still lose. Do you think this will teleport him? Do you think this will teleport him backwards? Why are none of my towers attacking that guy, dude? I forgot I had Swamp Thing. I completely forgot I had Swamp Thing. Why is it so small, level 1? Okay. I think I could. What the fuck was that? Guys, that was actually so free. That was the easiest boss of my life. No, if I used the Swamp Thing, I think that would have been much easier. Because I completely forgot I had that tower. I think I'm going to play one more. I almost pressed on the Ogre Shipwreck, dude. That could have been so bad. Oh, sorry, I got some in my eye. I wouldn't have revealed anything. And I guess it would have revealed icons and shit. Yeah, it would have revealed the skill icons and a little description. Which would have been bad, actually, now that I think about it. I want to bring I think Blazing Gem is fun. New tower is overpowered. Stopped. Really good. And the new hero is very fun. She's an overpowered, but she's very fun. What happened to my music? My drink? My diet Dr. Kelp? It would be really funny if these crystals were glare. My music's gone. What? Oh. It was so bad. My god. Do they do emergency? They don't do emergency balance updates. But they'll do a, But they might do a, they won't do any emergency, like, balance changes. You know, but they'll do, they do a, like, emergency, like, balance, not balance, like, bug fixes. But I don't mind the new tower being overpowered, honestly. I think it's fun. I think it deserves it. Oh, there it is. This music's pretty decent. Vengeance music overall is pretty good, I think. Oh no, you're supposed to use You're supposed to use the dragon spawn first. What the hell, man? Bad game. fucking hate the amphitheaters, dude. Get a guy back here just for the amphitheaters. Frog pamping? That's... I don't think that is an unreasonable statement. I don't think... I think saying that the frog campaign is better than Hammerhold, I don't think that is completely unreasonable. Oh, I love how conveniently it targets my only good air defense with the whatever. Vengeance has so many L's, it's crazy. Crazy how much they messed up this one game. This game's fun though, I think. I like these towers a lot more than I like playing with the towers in Alliance, if I'm being real. The towers in this game, I think, despite being like overlapping and like kind of poorly balanced, I think they're really designed well. I think that's not talked about enough. The tower design. I think they're all really fun to play with. What do you mean during game and updates? Because we have been given the October update test. We have been giving that. We have tested. We are testing that. If that's what you're asking. Lower this. I'm really a fan of that. I killed it. I like how smooth the animations are when you play on Steam. Steam animations in general, I think they're much better. I think that's one thing Steam does well. It was one of the few things Steam does well. Insta-kill? Fair said. Got all day here, bud. Okay, that was just dandy and fun. Oh my god, dude. Fucking... $300 wave design. Type shit. Okay. Okay, so in front of you Is something with two thoughts. There it is, Barrisat. Good job. Game is very fun sometimes. I will admit, I do like this game. As much as this... I think this game's high points are very good, but the low points are just way too low. Got high highs and low lows. That's what I have to say about it. I think the Blazing Gem's actually doing good air defense here. That's really funny. I shouldn't have done that. Good thing I have a Barrisat Hero spell. Oh boy, I'm getting 2 extra gold with his killing these enemies with basic attacks. Wow, I really feel blessed right now. Okay, good thing he's not ceding any ground, so that's a good start. Bring this dude over here real quick. Alright, buddy. Very sad, my boy. I think... I should have brought the Hellion Tridents. I think that would have gone much better for me. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. Okay. Hot take, Blazing Gem is better than... Probably, you know. Oh, you mean like the tower? Like the Eldritch Channeler? Or are you just... so autistic too? What do you mean by that? This wave is really funny. Because it's just 7 of these guys. Peak wave design right here, guys. Needs exercise when you can float in Evity. I don't know, you're fucking fat. Ah, yes. I love it when Barrisat can just do that. Brings tears to my eyes, really. Maybe when the thing is a little bit useful. I'm gonna have to make you guys all run away now. Fear the Dragon is so good, dude. People don't talk about it enough. Eldritch Channeler? I think that's a reasonable statement. No, I don't think that's unreasonable at all. All that glitters is gold. Ours break the mold. Alex, please. Hola. I don't know why I said hola. Dude. I like Blazing Gem, but Wicked Sisters that is clear is so much better. Like, it's so obvious. Literally. I'm not even gonna bother buying defective engines because I know it's not gonna work. There's just a lot of chasers. Really should not have wasted my hero spell there. Now that I'm looking back on it. They sound so. Why do I die? They sound like the little. They sound like the exact type of kid to say little. Bang bang. Bam bam. Such a funny voice line. What other skills should I get here? I feel like I should get something. Not getting smashed. This is again. I was like, Smash is the worst instant kill in the series. The worst. No, that is not an exaggeration. I am telling you, it is the worst. And it ain't no lie, No. It's so funny how obnoxious all of the Goblin Tower voice lines are. Hey, you mind walking to that sub lane real quick? I would rather cancel that skill than have to wait for all those guys to walk all the way over here. This is a shitty wave 15. Like, actually. This being the wave right before the boss is actually so bad. Like, oh my god. I like buying this for the voice line. And bam, yeah. How bad it is. That's it, I'm frogging angry. I'm gonna frog! Dude, his legs look so weird. I don't like looking at his legs. I don't like the way he's sitting. I don't like any of it. Ooh. Once Blazing Gem locks on you, it's over, little bro. You get a lick of the Blazing Gem, you're fucking dead. Only you could get in its fucking range. Oh my god. Please target. Okay. Thank fuck. And he's already teleported. That's great. It's so great. Why are you teleporting around so much? What have I ever done to you? I'm just buying Smash just because it might help. Yeah. It's better than nothing here. Like, I just bought it just so I could show you. This is such a shitty wave, dude. Fuck you. Whatever, it's over. You see how that did nothing? Wait, did that actually damage enemies? I don't think it did. Did it? Nah. Nah. Anyways, I'm out. See ya later. I'll probably do like some real streams after the pirate campaign comes out. You know, I'll actually like do a real stream playthrough of that instead of just shitty tier list.